Alright. Welcome to Season 2, Race 12 of my F1 2020 My Team Career Mode with Jaguar Racing F1 team. And we are at the British Grand Prix. First thing we're going to take care of right out of the gate is some R&D stuff. Now, with the power upgrade that we are getting from Renault, and the upgrade we have coming on the car already, we're in for a big boost to the engine power in time for the next race. So we should have the best engine compared to everyone else, I think. So our next upgrade is we're going to go with what we were going to do originally, which is the DRS. Maximum slot gap. That will come in time for the Belgian Grand Prix. Take care of that. And then I guess since we have the points, we'll go for a durability upgrade. Why not? You can never go wrong with some durability upgrades. So there you go. So in the R&D progression, we have the engine power coming in, and then the durability, and then a major aerodynamics upgrade. So, let's say we're in pretty good shape. Now, as far as the race is concerned, it is going to be a fully wet race, which won't be fun, especially around a track that I'm not particularly fond of. Not that it's not a good track in real life, I'm just not a big fan of driving it personally, but that's just me. And we'll go ahead to one shot qualifying. I'll check, actually I just wanted to check the engine to make sure I put the right engine parts in, and now we will go to one shot qualifying. As we wait for it to load here. There we go. Alright, so this should be an interesting qualifying, because it's going to be a dry qualifying and then a wet race. So, let us see what we can do. Actually, got just the volume a little bit. It's actually a little too loud in the headphones. Let's say, did not qualify too well here last year. We'll see if that's changed. The volume's still pretty loud on my end. Still loud. I think I just have to play around with the volume on this thing. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. The volume is particularly loud. So for whatever reason, it's not coming across super loud when I unplug the headphones, but when I plug them in, it's very loud. Give me 1 second here. See if that works. Okay, that's a lot better. At least there was a volume adjuster that I had inadvertently messed with on the side of my headphone here. No, I'm just gonna see if I can adjust the volume on the TV and see if that, Okay, so I guess the TV volume and the headphone volume are sort of independent of each other. I think I can get a better run through there. Turned in a little too early. Oh, and I screwed up Mackets and Beckett. That's great. That's the first half good. Second half, not so much. That's better. Only just under 3/10 down on Hamilton, sitting in third. As for whatever reason, I'm not turning where I should be turning. I'm waiting, I'm hesitating on the turn in. There we go. I think the best run's that chicane. And it's gonna be P5.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Hamilton, Bottas, and Kevin Magnussen. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Alright, and I guess the big shock is our teammate, Kevin Magnussen, getting a very lofty P3. His best qualifying effort by far in this Jaguar team. We're split by the Ferrari of Leclerc. Lando Norris doing a great job to get his McLaren into P6. Verstappen, Ocon, not qualifying Ricciardo, interestingly enough. For the racing points, in the middle, not as good as they can be, but they've been worse in qualifying. And that pretty much. Oh my gosh, Sebastian Vettel P15. What the heck's going on there with him? My oh my, it's not good for Seb. Not good at all. But that's where he ended up. So we'll go from there. Yeah, that's really fortunately, that's really reflective of real life Seb right now. Hey, props to K-Mac for that qualifying effort. Alright. Let's see what kind of messages we've got here. So pre-race info. Nothing important, I'd say. So now, let's go to the British Grand Prix. Of course, we have won 3 out of the last 4 races, so we'll see what we can do here. Oh boy.
Great Britain then, one of only 2 countries to have held a Grand Prix in every single year of the Formula One World Championship. And the circuit extends that record further for today's Grand Prix. Silverstone circuit then. It's 3.6 miles long and has a total of 18 corners. and of course, is no stranger to the rain. There won't be any DRS available in these conditions, but the Wellington and Hanger Straights are still good opportunities to tuck into the slipstream and make a pass. Anthony Davidson is here once again for today's Grand Prix. Can we begin by having a chat about Sergio Perez? Looks like they've got a tough race in store today as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Magnussen, Leclerc, the owner driver, and Norris, Verstappen, Ocon, Albon, and Lance Stroll, Gasly, Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz, and Vettel, Kvyat, Grosjean, Antonio Giovinazzi, and George Russell. Perez, they've taken a grid penalty. De Vries, Latifi, and Tatiana Calderon. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
All right, Sergio Perez gets a grid penalty. The only one of note for this race. So, I have a track map in front of me, so hopefully I can remember the names of the corners.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Race strategy, we are on full wets. I guess the interesting thing will be to see if we have to switch on to inters at any point. Certainly a possibility.
We're not seeing any technical issues coming off the practice start. Watch the RPM on the full start. We don't want to bog down.
We're coming through Abbey and Farm into Village. So Abbey, Farm, and Village to start the left. We run the loop. I'm not sure if that's referring to this corner or the shorter circuit that goes off to the right there. Entry, now the Wellington Straight.
Heavy rain to stay a while. Doesn't look like it's moving anytime soon.
Brooklands, right here. Luffield, right here. There's the Cops Corner. Then we head through Maggots, Beckett's, Chapel, before going on to the Hanger Straight towards Stone Corner. Vale Chicane and then Club Corner. Alright, here we go.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start
Full
sequence
wet
will begin as soon as the grid has formed.
Here
Be
in
ready with the clutch.
Silverstone, the first Grand Prix. I guess typical British weather, I guess, but nonetheless, we're getting ready to go. It's gonna be a long race. It's gonna be a grueling race. we'll see what we can get out of it. 5 red lights. We're underway for the British Grand Prix, and it's a good start. Our teammates alongside Bottas for second. He gets nothing as we go way wide. Make a little contact with Leclerc, who's going to lose out to Norris, looks like, as we go alongside our teammate for third, and we get him through Village. As Hamilton and Bottas begin to scoot away with the lead. Hamilton P1, Bottas P2, down the Wellington Straight into Brooklands, left field, right here. And we'll run down the old start-finish straight to Cops Corner. Your Cops. Maggots and Beckett's, and then down through Chapel, down the Hangar Straight towards Stowe Corner. Now we push the Vale Chicane. Heading towards Club Corner. Back to the start-finish straight. So, I think my play in this race is obviously, I'm going to try to catch the guys in front of me. But if I'm having trouble, and it's clear to me I'm not gaining, I might let my teammate go if my teammate gets close enough to me. Just so maybe he can try to do something, and so that I don't necessarily have to hold him up. Go here into the Vale Chicane. Just let him go. He can probably make more progress than I can. I'll let him go. And I'll do the best I can to hang on to fourth. As Leclerc looks to make a move and he makes contact. That wasn't very nice. Because I left it in the lead. probably the best run I had for that section of corners this whole race. Ran a little wide there. Not gonna help my cause any.
The circuit's definitely looking better than it was a few minutes ago. If we just move a bit more of that standing water, we might be able to get onto the intermediates.
Interesting.
Okay, fitting intermediate tyres next.
I guess we'll see how quickly this rain lightens up. Pit stop is scheduled for about halfway through this race as I run wide. That wasn't pleasant. Should take that corner a lot better than that. We're looking to make a move here. Can't quite get there. Leclerc looking to
Use
make a
your
move
overtake
again.
button more. It's time to utilize some of this energy.
Couldn't get it
Gap
done.
to car in front is 2.7 seconds.
Touch the grass unintentionally. Unintentionally for a second there. As Valtteri Bottas sets the fastest lap of the race. Leclerc is really stalking us right now. Gets a bit of traction overhead coming out of Chapel. Wide there through Stowe. Nail chicane. Brakes hard. The final chicane, that's really a weak point in the entire track.
The gap to the car ahead is 4.0 seconds.
Leclerc looking for a cheeky move to the outside. Not going to make it work. Now going down the white straight. Gain a little on him. And basically maintain the status quo. Oh, jeez, Leclerc, you did it again. Get a better turn in. Oh, it just went way too wide. Leclerc looking for a move again. Gonna push in. Bang wheels. Bang wheels again. Getting close going into the Vale chicane. And we're gonna have the edge on him. More contact. And we maintain P4. Getting close again.
These conditions don't look like they're shifting. We're predicting at least 20 minutes of heavy rainfall. Gap to the car in front is 5.8 seconds.
Running wide there again. Creating a bit of an unintentional log jam here. It's bottlenecking most of the field behind us. As Leclerc looks to make a move. More contact. We hold him off. Norris gonna have a look. Does as some come into the pit. Somebody, I think one of the AlphaTauris that was dove into the pits as Norris got the move done on Leclerc.
Norris, they seem to have an issue.
Oh, and just as Norris passes Leclerc, as we take a look at who took a dive into the pit lane, it was Pierre Gasly. Don't notice any front wing damage, so I guess this is a regularly scheduled stop. Let's see what tire seat goes on in a second. Looks like also, I think looks like Perez also coming into the pits. So you just take a look and see what the AlphaTauri and the Racing Point are doing. Interesting. So Perez and Gasly have already opted to go onto the intermediate tire. Very interesting. Obviously, they felt the conditions are right for the tire change, or they're just looking to take a gamble. I'm not sure. Either way, they are going to be the unofficial guinea pigs here. And we'll see how fast they're going on those intermediates. The rain has definitely lightened up. That I can say for sure, as Norris and Leclerc doing battle. Of course, down to Norris is having some sort of problem with his car. And Verstappen has also gotten by Norris.
Looks like it's probably about time we change tyres. It's a bit of a crossover period for sure, but the longer we stay out, the worse it's going to get.
Oh, and there comes more cars into the pits. Actually, you know what? If they're taking the gamble, I think I'm going to take the gamble too.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
If other people behind me are doing it, then why shouldn't I do it? I'm going to come in, change onto the intermediates, and thus avoid getting potentially held up in the pits by our teammate.
Go, go, go. Okay, stay clear of the white line.
See, Gasly is going to...
for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
And you can see how much time those intermediate tires, the difference that made for Gasly, because he is now right along with us. So obviously the intermediate tires made a huge difference for Pierre Gasly. He leapfrogged a Ferrari, a Vettel, and, well, actually I think he was ahead of Vettel, but you know, if those guys in front of us pit and they come out around me, then that just shows where they are.
Let's use overtake and burn some of this energy.
Now, we're gaining on the cars in front of us, but I don't know if that's just because they're on a Williams, or it's Calderon and DeVries, the Williams and the Haas, as one of the Mercedes pits. I think it's Bottas that came in. Of course, it's a very long and very slow pit lane here at Silverstone, however you would like to say it. But we'll see where we come out in relation to Leclerc and those guys. Are we able to stay in front of them? Looks like we are. And Gasly, more importantly, he jumps Leclerc and Verstappen. So again, hitting what he did was a brilliant strategy call by the AlphaTauri team, and fair play to the Racing Point team as well. To Perez when they did.
Gap ahead is 5.3 seconds.
They go purple in Sector 1. It was get by our former teammate, Tatiana Calderon. As Hamilton now dives into the pits. Excuse me. Now, this is much earlier than they said we were going to pit, so I don't know if this means we can go all the way or not, or what the deal is. And interestingly enough, our teammate, Kevin Magnussen, has continued to remain on track. And he now assumes the lead of the British Grand Prix. So very interesting. I'm not really sure what Magnussen's play is here. See, it's not like I was just in. The pits are wide open for him. Because we set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. And then Albon tops us.
Albon has just put up the fastest lap of the race so far.
So the change over to the intermediates came along a lot sooner than I was expecting, personally. Now, interestingly enough, it says that we don't need to make another pit stop for the rest of the race. So in theory, you can go to the end. So that kind of makes the decision by Magnussen to stay out all that more interesting.
The rain looks like it's going to be getting much lighter over the next 10 to 15 minutes. There should be more grip, but don't expect a dry track.
There's K-Mag coming in. You should easily get past
Kevin is in the pits.
by the two Mercedes. I'm wondering, very curious to see where we come out in relation to him. As Bottas sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Is he running P2? Oh, actually, Bottas is in the lead, so Bottas jumped Hamilton there, so now Valtteri Bottas is in the lead of the British Grand Prix.
Norris is in the pits.
Alright, so Magnussen does beat us out as we reclaim the fastest lap. We got two more cars sticking it out on the intermediate, or on the wets. You got Sainz and who else is in front there? Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll is the one who's sticking it out on the wet tires.
We advise moving to mix 2, fuel to mix 2.
Don't think that's going to work out for him unless there's a safety car. Now the field has become much more spread out.
I think we're still on the right tyres for the time being.
Of course we are, it's still raining.
Forecast suggests the rain is going to be lightening up over the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. You should start finding more grip as we clear the standing water. Inters seem like the fastest tyre for now.
As Sainz and Stroll finally hit the pit lane.
Gap to car in front is 3.2 seconds.
That elevates us back to P4. And puts Pierre Gasly in P5.
Okay, we've got plenty of energy. Use the overtake button and have a go.
So at this point, I just want to try to... Obviously, we're going to monitor the weather, see if that changes any. And then we're also just going to do what we can to maintain the gap to the cars behind us. Because if we can get 3 and 4, I think that'll be a good result for the team.
gap to the car ahead is 1.9 seconds. Okay, clear.
Well, somebody's got a problem. Looks like it's one of the Ferraris. Is it Leclerc or is it Vettel? Let's go back and see. Vettel, yes it is. Sebastian Vettel at that poor qualifying, and now it appears that he is out, going to be out of the British GP. The first retirement of the race. Doesn't look like we'll get a safety car out of it though. So we continue on.
Our gap to the car in front is 2.0 seconds.
And we got another problem. Somebody else has got an issue. Like one of the Renaults is slow. That might be Esteban. No, it's Daniel Ricciardo.
Safety car. No overtaking. Reduce your pace.
Daniel Ricciardo is out of the Grand Prix. And that retirement has brought out the safety car. Now, we could come in and put on a new set of intermediates, but I feel like that's not the best move. We should keep the track position, so we'll stay in P4. What that will do is I'll bunch everyone up back behind the Mercedes cars. Have a sip of water there. catch up to the back of our teammates. Meet the safety car queue. So it's going to be Bottas in the lead, Hamilton second, Magnussen third, we are fourth. We got Gasly fifth, and Albon in sixth.
The rain is getting lighter now, but it's going to take a while for the track to dry out.
Yeah, Leclerc versus... Oh. Wasn't paying attention, ran right into the back of my teammate. We'll do the rundown here, though. So Gasly P5, Albon P6, Leclerc P7, Verstappen P8, Danny Kvyat P9, P10 is going to be Roman Grosjean, then Ocon, Perez, Norris, Sainz, Stroll, Russell, Latifi, Giovinazzi, De Vries, and Calderon is the remaining running order in this race. As I forgot to rewind to account for the collision. There we go.
The rain's easing off a bit, but the track is still going to be wet for a while. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
Yes, even if it dries up towards the end, don't think we're going to be in a scenario where we're going to be switching over to dry tires. We're going to end on these intermediates. Looks like we're going to get another lap under the safety car, which means we'll be going back to green, coming to take or to start lap 19. So the two men, interestingly enough, the two men who sort of tried that weird alternate strategy in Austria, in Vettel and Ricardo, ironically enough, are the ones who get caught with hard brakes here in Great Britain with engine troubles.
Okay, the weather's certainly eased off for the time being, but we've still got a lot of standing water out there. We're happy for you to stay out on the inters for now.
So I believe we're going to have 8 laps to go when we go back racing.
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember, there is no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
Eight laps once we get that going here. Got a lot of fuel saved up. We're back racing again in the British Grand Prix.
Green flag.
Gasly, is he looking to make a move here?
You're losing a small amount of time to the car
Oh,
behind.
very
Keep
close,
pushing.
very close. A little bit of contact, but we hold off Gasly. It's very touch and go there for a second, but we managed to hold him off. Now we gun it once again. Just trying to get away. Should be interesting to see here who is able to get the win, because, you know, Bottas jumped Hamilton
Use your overtake button for more power. We need to push.
during the pit stop cycle, but can Hamilton get the lead back? That's something I want to see. Or is it a situation like it was actually the last time out in Austria, where, for whatever reason, Bottas just had the much better car than Hamilton?
Okay, gap ahead is 1.5 seconds.
Bottas sets the fastest lap of the race right after the restart. Gap to car in front is 1.8 seconds. I think Bottas is really starting to gap his teammate a little bit. And visually they look close, but I don't know. I don't think Hamilton's going to have the pace to pass his teammate for the win here. Now with Bottas continuously setting fastest laps of the race. Magnussen has fallen off the back of Hamilton, but Hamilton is still within touching distance of his teammate, and there you go. Hamilton sets the fastest lap of the race right after his teammate did, so it could be heating up for the win here momentarily. Can Hamilton retake the lead from his teammate, Valtteri Bottas?
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining. The gap to the car ahead is 1.5 seconds.
So we just went purple in Sector 1. Green in Sector 2. Bottas sets the fastest lap of the race again. We can't match him.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 per lap.
And we are distancing ourselves from Pierre Gasly, which is good. Meanwhile, Romain Grosjean is, I believe, really proving to be a bit of a roadblock for some of those cars behind him. And to be fair,
We're doing well out there. Keep it up. We're looking at about 10 more minutes of rain. 10 minutes.
him being a roadblock is a bit beneficial to him because Grosjean is running in 10th, which of course is the last points paying position. So he is trying to hold on to that crucial championship point. Coming to 3 to go this time.
We pretty much burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to
think
turn the
Bottas
engine down.
has,
Our gap to the car in front is 1.5 seconds.
See, there are points on the track where it looks like Hamilton's closing, and then there are other points where Bottas looks like gains some time. Either way, it's not good for Hamilton as his teammates leading the way.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. Tyre condition is still looking good.
Ooh, a horrible run through the end of Maggots there.
Battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button more.
Alright, here we go. Bottas still leads the way. Okay, it looks like Hamilton just got even closer to
There's only one
him.
lap of fuel remaining.
Final lap, here we go. One more time around the Silverstone circuit, the British Grand Prix.
This is your final lap of the race.
Did Lewis Hamilton do anything to overtake his teammate? Definitely starting to see some sunlight and some small patches of blue start to pop up.
Bottas is out in front.
But doesn't matter now, we're on the final lap of this fully wet British Grand Prix. Magnussen actually pulled a bit of a gap on me there.
Okay, gap ahead is 3.9 seconds.
And it looks like Valtteri Bottas will indeed hold on and hold his teammate Lewis Hamilton to win the British Grand Prix. Hamilton takes second, our teammate Magnussen gets his second podium of the year, and we come home in P4.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So I think, all things considered, I think is a good result for us at this track. Pierre Gasly gets driver of the day, deservedly so.
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Rain always has the potential to liven up a race and mix up the order, and they've taken full advantage of that to claim the victory today. It's always a bit of a lottery when the conditions are like this, but they've managed to stay on circuit and have come out on top.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
Teammate getting snubbed there in the celebration.
And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Despite the best efforts of our championship leader, that lead has taken a bit of a knock today. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
I'll probably go for Pierre Gasly. The team did a good job with the strategy to put him in amongst the pack, but it's the driver's job to capitalise on those opportunities, and he did so with a lot of skill.
Let's move on to the constructors. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improve their position in the championship. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
So there you go. That was the British Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel, I have to say, I think, if I recall correctly, he did not score any points in France either, which means this is the third consecutive race where Vettel has not scored any points, which is just disastrous for him. It's a little disappointing to see Lando Norris go from P6 to P13, but apparently he did have problems with his car. Nice job by Grosjean to maintain P10 to get one more point for Alpha. Kvyat doing a good job to get from P15 to P9, and then I guess just overall a very solid day for AlphaTauri, which is actually not much of a surprise considering that they tend to run very well in wet conditions. So there you go there. Standings, constructors, Red Bull overtakes Racing Point for P3. Ferrari is sort of there behind them, but they're starting to slip a little bit. Driver standings. Bottas jumps Hamilton for P2 in the championship. Now only 27 points behind us. The other movement saw Leclerc jump Perez. Of course, the Racing Points didn't score any points this round. And our teammate gets a podium, still P11, but I guess gains some distance to Kvyat behind him and closes in on Vettel a little bit as well. Gasly jumps Sainz and Lando Norris, both fall a little bit. They're all actually all tied at 16. There you go. That was the British Grand Prix.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. Did you feel comfortable in the wet weather today? Your teammate had a great race today and was rewarded with a podium. Do you have any comments on the performance?
Compliment the
You
teammate
lost
there.
your teammate today. Was it just not your day?
I think they'll compliment the power unit.
Things are really heating up between you and your rival, aren't they? Appreciate your time.
And a rivalry with Bottas ends in a draw, which I don't think awards us any acclaim, so that's interesting. Obviously, he had the better performance over us in this race, so can't really fault anything there. $921,000 more than we usually get. $50,000. Up to 6.21 million.
Margins are looking good right now. I think we've got room for some more investment.
Alright, we got to renew some sponsorship here. DSB Optics, we will do that. And we're gonna have to go put them back on the car. Which, again, is a little annoying. I feel like if you're just renewing a sponsorship, they should just automatically stay on the car. But that's just my opinion. Just checking to make sure everything's good. Yep, everything looks good on the car. So we're all set there. Upgrades, we'll see if the one power upgrade actually comes in. Activities, we got some time. I think I'll save some money for now. Don't think I need to spend too much at the moment. Excuse me. What department could use some morale boosting? Chassis and durability. So let's see. We'll do the team building, because that will give everything a boost. And then we'll see. What is K-Mag's statistics looking like? 89 still. Why don't we up the ante a little bit on K-Mag and see what we can get out of him. We'll do race simulation, which will get 3 experience and 3 awareness out of our teammate. And then I could do the sponsor fit filming or the weight training, but those are both 2 days. Why don't we go with the weight training, just continue to up our teammate and see how far we can get him up. Alright. And from there, we will advance. Okay, the power upgrade comes in just fine.
You're not currently in a rivalry. Sooner or later, you'll probably be asked by the media who you consider to be your rival. Think carefully who you select. While you will receive acclaim for beating them, you'll lose acclaim if you fail to do so.
Thank you, Carl. The durability upgrade failed, but that's okay. I can take care of that before I go into the next weekend in Hungary. With that power upgrade, not only do we have by far the best engine in the field, but we also, or I should say, that upgrade will vault us to the top team on the entire grid in the performance chart. Probably just barely over Mercedes, but puts us in a very good position, as you can see. So there's that. And then, like I said, we will take care of that upgrade, that failed durability upgrade, before we run the Hungarian Grand Prix. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you for the Hungarian Grand Prix.